5. Bro. Yeah. Bro, what is it doing?
पे बैठे मैं वो भी नीचे जा रहे हैं, क्यों? मेरी ऑडियंस के लिए, ताकि मेरी ऑडियंस को मौका मिल जाए। ठीक है, जल्दी जब गिफ्टर्स को मैं पिक करती हूँ मैं अपनी ऑडियंस को बता देती हूँ कि अभी फॉलो करो, अभी ये गिफ्टर आ चुके हैं, ये आपको गिफ्टिंग करेंगे। तन्हा भाई आपने कोई गिफ्टिंग की है? शहजादे माइक ओपन करते हो? तन्हा पी के जल्दी से, शाबाश, वेरी गुड गाइस। स्पीड से वर्किंग करनी है, प्लस की निशान पर क्लिक करना है, इनकी लिस्टों में आना, इनकी लिस्टों से मैं पिक करूँगी, कॉल पे आते जाएंगे जल्दी से, शाबाश। तन्हा के देखिए गाइस, अभी जबरून को ड्रॉप करेंगे। अहमद, थैंक यू सो मच अहमद। तन्हा ने देख लो टीम तक नहीं ज्वाइन की, गिफ्टर लेवल 0 है और 1000 पॉइंट लेके जा रहे हैं। ठीक है, गिफ्टिंग ही मैटर नहीं करती, सब कुछ आपकी वर्किंग बहुत मैटर करती है। ठीक है, इसके बाद मैं टॉप गिफ्टर्स आपको रोटेट करूंगी। ठीक है, नीचे बैठे हुए गिफ्टर्स को मौका दूंगी। ओके, नेक्स्ट साइड जाजन कॉल पे सबके सब बंदे ऐड करते जाएं, प्लस 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 की निशानी पर क्लिक करते जाएं, फॉलो करते जाएं, लिस्ट में आते जाएं। यूसीयूआई आप लोगों में से हैं गाइस, ये सारे ऑडियंस में से बंदे आ रहे हैं। सलाब आप में से हैं, ये दिनू आप में से, ये सारे के सारे बंदे आप लोगों में से, सबके सब बंदों को सपोर्ट मिल रहा है गाइस। मुझे आपकी सपोर्ट देखिए, मैं आपको अनलिमिटेड सपोर्ट कर रही हूँ। आपके पास पॉइंट्स नहीं है, मैंने किसी से ज़बरदस्ती नहीं किया कि जाओ नीचे, टीम ज्वाइन नहीं किया हुआ गाइस, मैंने कोऑपरेट किया, उल्टा मैंने गिफ्टिंग की है, करवाई है, ताकि आप लोग टीम ज्वाइन कर सको नेक्स्ट टाइम आके। लेकिन अब आपका काम बनता है, मुझे डबल टैप अच्छा चाहिए, मुझे शेयरिंग अच्छी चाहिए, मुझे आपकी वर्किंग चाहिए, मुझे लिस्टों में चाहिए आप लोग। ठीक है, जल्दी 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 मलिक को ऐड करना है गाइस, टॉप टू बॉटम सारी की सारी एडीज को ऐड करना। अभी गेस्ट खाली करेंगे, कोबरा एंड जबरून, आई विल पिक यू अगेन, रिची कैनेडा, वेलकम, जल्दी 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 शाबाश। ये सारी नीचे वाली मेरी ऑडियंस बैठी है, 600 से लेके नीचे तक जितने भी बंदे बैठे सारे मेरी ऑडियंस है।
Oh no, sorry, my bad. I still got this on, that's why. Hopefully that's better. Sorry about that. Right, New York session. Let's see what's happening. Let's gear up. Is anyone new here? Is anyone new to trading? How's it going? How's everyone doing? Let's get into these charts. I'm looking at EURUSD today. I want to see if we can get some potential buys. Potential buys. We just got to kind of wait and see. I think we're going to potentially target above overall. A few areas is one area. Let me get my headphones. How's everyone doing? Everyone is good. Right, EURUSD. Looking for buyers. Hope everyone is raw. If you lot can. If you're not following me on TikTok, head over to TikTok. Click follow. I'm going to be streaming every day this week at the same time, 12 to 1, for the New York session every day, looking at charts, okay? So if you guys want to tune in, if you want to learn anything regarding trading, how to get into trading, and things and such, definitely tap in, guys, okay? It'll definitely be worthwhile. If you want to learn about trading itself, if you're a beginner, if you have any questions, you can ask those questions. I'll be sure to answer them, okay? So looking for buyers inside this area today. The trend is definitely bullish. You can see we're making higher highs. So this is the area I'm looking for a higher low to then make a new higher high. And I think potentially target this area above here. So that's what I'm looking for. That's what I think is on the cards today. We just got to kind of wait and see. This is what I'm looking at, like this. And then, yeah, take it up to here. So that's the plan, really. It's a 3 to 1 R&R. So we've got to kind of wait and see what pairs. This is EURUSD. So it's a major pair. For those that trade pairs against the dollar, this is what I'm looking for. So I'm going to wait and see. It might come in an hour when New York session opens. But nonetheless, this is what I'm going to be waiting on. So, yeah, if you got any questions regarding the chart, be sure you can ask me about them if you want me to look at a different pair. Or if you've got a query as to why I'm buying or anything like that. Yeah, be sure to ask. Hello, everyone. TikTok. Monica. Jane, good day. Hope you lot are doing all right. So, yeah, let me know if you guys have got any questions. We're going to be going into the New York session waiting on potential buyers, okay? So let's see what happens. I might not trade tomorrow myself because there's the EURUSD, sorry, there's the Euro interest rate tomorrow. I'm doing very well. The Euro interest rate is tomorrow, so I'm probably going to wait for the news release tomorrow to see what's going on. So EURUSD, I want to kind of trade today, and then hopefully I can get my entry today and see how it's looking going into tomorrow. But tomorrow itself, I'll probably wait for the news of the interest rate. So for those that check on these type of things, we've got the interest rate decision. So as you guys can see here, excuse me, the previous was 2.4. They're thinking it's going to drop to 2.15. Actual 2.15. Okay, so let's see what that's saying for tomorrow. But I'm going to wait for that. So going into the New York session tomorrow, I'm going to wait until that press release happens. Okay, so EURUSD today. What will I trade today? EURUSD is what I will trade today. We could potentially trade oil as well, but only if we go down first, basically. So oil is another pair that I like to look at. As you can see, we've kind of just been rotating down. So if we go below this area here, I'm going to look for some buys, but it's not really right now. We need it to drop a little bit more, and then see what happens from there. US30 is another one. I'm looking for buyers as well. I think US30 could potentially push up, target the highs here, as well as the overall highs here. I think US30 could make a new higher high, basically. I think that's possible. So there's a few things, yeah, we could be looking at, guys, just from a perspective of things to trade. But it's just kind of waiting on the entries to form, you know. They're not quite here yet. So US30, we could potentially see it push up and make a new high. That would be very good. I'm looking at this area right here, which would be great. And yeah, seeing what's happening, that's the main thing. So this is where I look for potential buys as well, but it's not quite there yet. Okay, so we need to wait on that one just to see what it's doing, if it's gonna come down. Pushed up, come down, pushed up, come down. So what pairs do you guys trade? Does anyone trade a specific pair? Does anyone want me to look? Oh yeah, someone said gold. Sorry, Monica, you did say how about gold. Okay, cool. Gold is just bullish, to be honest with you. It's very, very high. So it could look to definitely come above here. It may not happen today, but it's still overall, that's the direction it's heading in. So if I was looking at gold, I would be looking at this area here to buy from. So you got this area here. Now the reason it's this area is because you can see that is where the buying volume, the buying pressure came in. So this area here is what I would be looking for gold to come into here and then potentially start buying up again. So I don't personally trade gold, but that's what I would look to do. I would be looking to basically buy gold and take it to this area. So something like this is what I'd be looking for. So here and then here to this area. That's where I'd be taking it to. How long you been trading? I've been trading 6 years now. 6 years. It's been a good it's been a long journey, but it's been a good journey. So this is the point of interest for potential buyers. So hopefully that makes sense, Monica, if you are looking at that. Could you potentially sell it to that area? It's possible. It's definitely possible. What I would say with gold at the moment is you've kind of got a range where it's ranged here. It's took out a high. Now we're setting at another range. So it could potentially move from here, or I would look for it to come down lower into this area, and that's where I'd be looking to buy it from potentially. So yeah, that's kind of what I've got today. But with gold, it's just not a pair that I'm familiar with in terms of just trading. I stopped trading gold in 2021 because I couldn't get used to the volatility. It's a bit too many wicks. It's very manipulated. So yeah, each to their own. You got to kind of find out what you like and, you know, stick with what you like. So gold's not my it's not my best pair. But this is where I'd be looking to potentially buy though, if I was gonna buy it. I wouldn't buy it where it is. Hopefully it dips down, boom, new leg up, and then potentially takes out the all-time high. So overall, gold is still bullish. Overall, gold is still bullish. How about Bitcoin today? I'll check Bitcoin. Do you guys day trade Bitcoin? Are you guys day traders of Bitcoin? Day trading Bitcoin is worse than day trading gold. Just because of the volatility, you know. But there is opportunity for sure. Bitcoin. So Bitcoin is in a range. Bitcoin's in a range. So this is what I would say, right? You've got a range here where it's going. Let me put that to the back. it's going sideways. Okay, it's going up, it's going down. What I would suggest you think about is it's gonna, let me draw the arrows. So underneath here, right, you're gonna have people that are buying and putting stop losses, and you're gonna have people that are selling here and putting stop losses. Yeah. So when it's going sideways like this and ranging or consolidating, you don't really want to trade this. You kind of just want to let it break out of the range first. Main reason being is that people that are buying and selling in the range, they are adding liquidity. So there's going to be liquidity above, liquidity below in both of these areas. Okay. So if there's liquidity above and below, and all liquidity is just stop losses, right, and pending orders in the market, you don't really want to put your liquidity either side of this. Yeah. You don't really want to put your stop loss either side of this. You don't really want to join that. So I wouldn't join it, is what I'm saying. I wouldn't personally join that. So really depends, guys, on what it is you're familiar or accustomed to. But ranges, you want to avoid entering during a range period. You want to be part of the move when it is going up like this. Yeah. Or when it is retracing as well. So let's go on the daily. I'll show you what I mean. So where price is, okay, you got that arrow here. You've got this one here where it's gone up. You also can short it in the retracement like this, right? But when it's going sideways, so like here would have been a bad time to trade it. Yeah, it wouldn't have been a good time to trade that, right? So every time it's ranging, you don't necessarily want to start adding positions in the range. So when it's up, when it's trending, yes, you want to add. It's retracing, you want to short, or you don't have to sell the retracement, but then you want to be part of the leg when it's going higher. You don't want to, when it's going sideways, start entering, because it's just gonna, first it's gonna be boring. You're gonna find it quite boring that, you know, nothing is happening and stuff like that. But also it's just not good price action, is what I'd say. It's not good price action. When do you think Bitcoin will have a new breakthrough? You mean a new high? A new all-time high? Is that what you mean? Is that what you're asking? So, range, again. This is the range it was in. It came out of the range. It made another range. Okay, so here's the low of the range now. Here's the high of this new range here. Boom, like this. Right? It goes up, comes back in the range, and then continues, right? Makes a new high, comes out of the range, drops, goes up, drops further, and then it's been on its bike since. Yeah, new high. Sorry. Do you trade full time or is this part time? No, I trade full time. So in the beginning, when I was learning how to trade, I was still working. So I used to be a gas engineer. I used to do plumbing. And yeah, whilst I was learning, I was still working, but then eventually I quit my job. Just because I had enough money saved so that I could start learning it without the pressure of how am I going to pay my bills and all of this stuff. I could pay all of my rent. And then COVID actually hit. So I was able to just, the whole world closed down. And then I was able to kind of focus on trading and learn it whilst we were sitting down and everything was shut down. So it's been a long journey. It took me 3 years to actually become profitable, to really consistently be profitable, Before that, when I was learning, I was winning, I was losing, I was winning, I was losing, right? Because there was just things that I was doing which I don't want to say don't work, but it was the consistency of what I was looking for. So one of the things that I was potentially doing wrong was trading when the market is ranging. That's why I always say to people who are getting into trading, know when the market is ranging and avoid. You don't really want to trade during the range. Anytime the market is consolidating, my advice to you is to put a box over it, right? From the lows to the highs of the range. And what you'll find is every time the market consolidates, well, let me not say every time. What you can take away from this is go back in the charts, right? And go and look at the times that the market has taken out one side of the range and not the other side. You'll find more times than not, it doesn't just target one side of the range. It targets both of them. So if a market's ranging like it is here, notice we come to the top of the range and then we come to the bottom of the range. Yeah? So once the range is then wiped out, only then do you start to see it trend again. And then you go into another range here. Small range here. Okay, put to the back right here. So highs of the range right here. Lows of the range right here. All of this is range and price action. Yeah? Drops. Boom. Okay. Goes up. Now here we are again. We had a small range. It went up. Then it come down. Let me just bring this here so you can see. Like this. This would have been a range on a maybe a 1 hour time frame. Okay, you got the highs. Like this. It comes to the top of the range. Then it comes for the bottom of the range. And this is where we're in right now. Yeah, so every time the market is ranging, it's not the best time to trade it because you're going to get involved in potential manipulation tactics where it shoots up and it shoots down and then you're like, oh, is it coming down now? So if I was to be buying Bitcoin, I would want it to drop lower first. Hopefully it does. If it goes up first and leaves the range, you should be fearful of it coming down. You know? Because either way, there's people buying right now, there's people selling right now. So how you got to understand is there's money on both sides. There's liquidity on both sides. Okay? If you don't know what liquidity is, it's just stop losses. It's just money in the market, yeah? Everyone who's hopefully anyway, every retail trader trades with a stop loss. So if you trade with a stop loss, your stop order is somewhere in the market. Yeah, your stop order somewhere in the market. So if you've got a range, there's going to be stop orders here. There's going to be stop orders above. So it's not the best condition to trade. Because even if you wanted to buy or sell, you're going to put the money above or you're going to put it below. So it's 50-50 that it's one or the other, right? That's why it tends to go for both sides. The reason it tends to go for both sides is because the market knows where the orders are. It knows where the orders in the market are. So if it targets one way first, you want to be thinking about trying to position yourself to target the opposite way. How much have you made from trading? So last year I made £90,000 last year trading. So it was okay. I didn't have a bad year. It's not an exponential year. But I trade for full time, you know. So it's better than what I was doing. Hopefully this year I can break 100k. I haven't had a bad year. The first start of the year has been good. So I'm on track to do that. So we'll see. We'll see how the rest of the year goes. I still got what? 5 months? Nearly 4 months left going into August. Wow, time is actually ticking, man. It's nearly August already. Summer's nearly over. 2 more months and summer's over. Ugh. What's your main trading strategy? So my main strategy is based off of the price action. It's based, so number one, okay, I'll write it out for you. My main strategy is number one, trend. So what is the trend? You always need to understand what the trend is. Okay, so trend, figure out, sorry. Number one is the trend. Number two is where is the liquidity. Okay, so this is the target, yeah? You need to know where the liquidity is because that's the target. That's what, if you're trying to go be a buyer or seller, you need to know where the liquidity is because that's where you're going to get out of the market. Okay. Number three is POI. Okay. Sorry, I didn't write three. Three is POI. Point of interest. Yeah, so where is my point of interest? I have to have a point of interest, meaning this is the area I'm trying to engage the market in, right? Not everywhere price is, you should be trying to engage the market. So three, where's my point of interest? Where am I waiting for the market to get to, right? And then number four is lower time frame confirmation. So it's what it's based on market structure, right? You're looking to see the market. I should have wrote a bracket. Hold on. Market. Sorry. Market structure. Confirming bias. That's all I use. So, what's the trend? These are the 4 questions that you want to ask yourself, yeah? What is the trend? Right? And if you know what the trend is, meaning the market, the structure, identifies a market trend, yeah? If you can't identify the trend you're in, then you're probably not ready to go live. Okay? You're probably not ready to go live. So, what is the trend? Where is the liquidity? How do you evaluate liquidity? So liquidity is basically where there was buyers or sellers in the market. So where was there selling pressure? Where was there buying pressure, right? That's where you know people were pulling the trigger. So where did my thingy go? So if we see here, boom, the market moved down, right? You know that there was selling pressure here. So you know that people we're selling as the market's coming down. You know that there's liquidity above here. There's stop losses here. Hello, new here. Nice to have you. Okay, so if there was people selling here, there are stop losses above there, right? When the market was being bought up here, you know that there was people buying, right, in this area here. So you know there's liquidity here. The market rose again. There's liquidity here. The market's now in a range. Anywhere the market moves up or down, there's liquidity there. Meaning you can see the volume, the big volume candles. People were selling here. Okay. Market is going to have stop losses above here. You can see the market moved up from here. All right. People were buying that. People are buying as the market is moving. There's going to be, let me get rid of the box quick. There's going to be, I'll show you, right? People that were buying, the stop losses are here. Okay. And the same thing for this area here. The stop loss is here. And then you can just evaluate it here. Look. Stop loss is there. Now look, I'll show you a lesson, right? When this wasn't created, so when this was like this, basically, and that wasn't there, right? People were buying. You can see the market's moving up. People were buying. So there's going to be stop losses here. Okay. So then when the market comes down, right, like it does there, it's targeted people that had stop losses there. Now notice once it's targeted people that had stop losses here, then the market starts to move higher. Right? This is where we are currently. But notice it's taken out that area there, right? And then it's created a new area of liquidity. All of these areas are as liquidity. That's it. People were selling here. People were selling here. People were buying here. People were buying here. Okay. You also would have had another area here. Yeah, we come above that area and then we've moved down lower. So now it's created a new area here and area here. So that's just, you know, does that make sense? Does anyone understand the concept of liquidity? Let me know if you do get that or if you don't get that. That's how I evaluate liquidity, to answer that question. You are really patient. Thank you. Like your energy. I appreciate you. How do you handle slippage? So slippage is just based on your brokerage. Make sure you have a good broker. If you don't have a good broker, DM me or message me after this live or on this profile, and I'll send you a brokerage. Yes. How can I be your student? Send me a message. Make sure you're following me as well on TikTok. Are you more of... Sorry, I can't see that. What was that? Are you more of a scalp? I'm a day trader. Are you a scalper? So scalping for me, again, I don't want to knock it, but it's not, you know, scalping is a smaller time frame, day-to-day observation. I don't really like to observe on smaller time frames. So I'm more of a day trader. And swing trading, okay, by definition is like you're in a trade for weeks or months even, right? It's you know, you need a lot of money to swing trade, in my opinion. If you want to make good money, you need a lot of money to swing trade. To have like a big size position, you know, make sure your stop loss actually makes sense and it's not too tight, and then let the market play out. You need a lot of money, a lot of capital. So day trading, you might be in a trade a day, you might be in a trade 2 days, which is more, yeah, my type of profile right now, currently. I want to get into swing trading because I feel like as I start to get more busy or have more things going on in my life, swing trading will make the most sense, but you just need big capital. 1 second. It's getting kind of warm today. Hello, sir. I am new here. Hi, Christina. You got any questions? Nice to have you here. How do you manage your risk per trade? So risk per trade is just based off of, you should be using, so you've got long and short positions, right? So I'm going to go back to this strategy in a second so I can finish that as well. So long and short positions. Okay, when you're taking a trade, you should be having a long and short position. Now the gray area represents how big your stop loss is, or how small, big or small your stop loss is. And your target is where you're trying to get out of the trade. Okay, so your stop loss should never be bigger than your target. You know, hopefully logically you understand why. Meaning you shouldn't be risking $50 to make $20. Like, you shouldn't be doing that. It doesn't make sense to do that, right? So your risk to reward ratio is how you manage your risk, but it's also making sure that your risk isn't too tight, and you're putting your stop loss in an area that makes sense to the trade that you're trying to take. That's really the main thing that you got to kind of get under control. So use, hopefully, if you're not using them, use the long and short tool for each trade. It's really important. It's really helpful as well because it lets you know, okay, is this a good trade? My risk to reward might be a 2-to-1. Hopefully you're trying to target a 2-to-1 minimum. So if I'm risking $50, I'm trying to make $100. Yeah. So that's kind of what it is. How many years have I been? So I've been day trading 6 years now. I answered that earlier. I don't think he was here. How do you avoid overtrading? So overtrading is about overtrading's impatience, truthfully. Overtrading is easily what's the word I'm looking for? Like, you're able to just not overtrade if you understand your point of interest. So going back to this, right? These are my 4 main things that I'm looking for in the trade, right? So number 1 is, what is the trend? Number 2 is, where is the liquidity? So where am I targeting? Number 3 is a POI, so the point of interest. So how I stopped over trading is having POIs, having a point of interest. Now, point blank is, the market is even in an area that you like or it's not. And you have to wait for the market to get to the area you like. Yeah? So it's like, there's no, you don't need to overtrade. The market isn't every single day gonna be in an area that you like. Meaning it's not gonna give you a point of interest every single day. So if you're not understanding that and you're just pulling the trigger every single day, yeah, you're gonna overtrade. You're gonna take trades that you don't need to take. So again, for those that are into Bitcoin, I'll come off this in a sec, but Bitcoin's going sideways. You don't really need to trade this right now. You kind of want to let it breathe and let it do something, because it's been rallying quite a bit. So let it figure out its next step and then potentially look to get into it. But I would leave it right now. And then number 4, when it's in my POI, I'm looking on the lower time frames for the structure to show me a willingness to, okay, cool, it's going to do this now. Yeah, so hopefully that makes sense. I'm going to go back to my pairs quick because I just want to look at them and see what's going on. We got 20 minutes to the, what's it called? US Open, New York Open. So how many years, how do you avoid overtrading? How much starting capital do I need to begin? So if you're going to trade by yourself, for yourself, right? You need to actually have a strategy first, and then you need to be risking money. Don't do it the opposite way. Yeah, you need to understand what it is you're pulling the trigger on first. Otherwise, you're just going to put money in an account and blow it. And it's just going to be painful. Your experience is going to be painful if you don't know why you're entering the trade, or why you're pressing buy or pressing sell. You need to understand that first, and then start thinking about risking money. Don't think about how much do I need to start. Now, ideally, when you are ready and you do have a strategy, you want to start with, depending on your situation, because I don't know you, right? Anywhere from, I'd say, $1,000 to $5,000 is enough money to start with. Yeah. How do you manage position sizing? So when you work out your stop loss, how big your stop loss is going to be. So let's say your stop loss is 30 pips, 40 pips, right? There's actually what's called a pip calculator, which lets you understand that, okay, I want to risk 40 pips, and then it asks you your account balance size. Okay. And then once you have your account balance size and your stop loss size, it will tell you how much your lot size should be. So there's plenty free pip calculators that you can use. Whether you're on Android, Apple. So the one that I use is called Stinu. But you can't, if you're trading like the NASDAQ or the Dow Jones, you can't use it. But if you're trading currencies and gold, I would use Stinu. It's really good. That's that helps me get my position sizing. How do you spot an entry point? So again, it goes back to those 4 things that I just mentioned. Hopefully you was here just now. Ariel, hello. Nice to meet you. Hopefully you was here just now. It goes back to those 4 things. Entry point is just about what is the market structure doing or not doing. That's literally it. So those are the main things. US30, I do think US30 is gonna go higher. It just missed my area though, so I'm gonna wait for New York session because it may come back. I want to see if it comes back anyway. What else did I say? I said Euro USD as well. So Euro USD, this is the main thing I'm trying to trade today, as I was saying. This is the main thing I'm trying to trade today. What pairs give me the best results? It's a good question. So the pairs I like to trade are GBPUSD, oil, US oil, and US30, or the Dow Jones. I do trade EURUSD as well. So if GBPUSD is not showing me nothing, I'll look at EURUSD and vice versa. So for me, GBPUSD isn't showing me the same entry EURUSD is showing me. It's kind of just continuing. So look, you can see EURUSD is going up. Sorry, GBPUSD is going up. And EURUSD is coming down. Hopefully it comes down more and then continues up. So it's not about pairs giving the best results. It's what pairs do you like to trade. Any pair can give you a result. It's what pairs do you like to trade. What pairs do you like to what pairs do you like to trade? What pairs show you what you want to see on the chart? Where does your strategy pop up? Which pairs does your strategy pop up? It's not so much about which ones give you the best results. Gold gave me my worst results. That's why I don't trade it no more. After 2021 ended, I went back through all the trades that I had taken, and I realized my biggest losses was on gold, so I stopped trading it. It just wasn't working for me. Someone might have a success story with gold. Okay? Someone might have a success story with gold. I don't have a success story with gold. I used to win, but I used to lose way more than I won. So that's really the biggest thing. What do you think of high frequency trading competition? What do you think of, what do you mean by that? What do you think yeah, can you elaborate? I'm not sure what you mean by that. I know what HFT is, but what are you asking me? How do you use volume data to assist in day trading decisions? So again, when you say volume data, do you mean like the trend or what the candlesticks are showing me? Do you mean like the volume of the candles? Like, what are you asking me? Is high frequency trading good or bad? I mean, I've never personally used it, so I can't really comment, bro. I know what it is, but I haven't used it to see if I've got results before. I'd rather depend on my own skills. Obviously, I know high frequency trading is kind of like a bot, right? It's basically like a bot trading on your behalf. But I've never invested in a bot or used a bot to trade. I just trade the markets myself manually. I either market execute or use limit orders. I don't really use the bots. But again, somebody's gonna have a success story. Somebody's not gonna have a success story with any method, you know. So it really depends. Which session do you mostly trade on? So I trade the London session and the New York session. So those are the main sessions that I trade. That's where the most volume is. So again, another thing that you can kind of look for in terms of your homework or just learning about the charts. It sounds weird when you say homework, but we're all students at the end of the day. If you want to learn how to trade, you're a student, right? So you're going to have homework. So if you go back to any day, right, where London and New York is, you'll see a pattern occur, whether it be liquidity being targeted or you start to see volume enter the market, right? So if we look at this day here on Friday, this was last Friday, okay? So 7 a.m., 8 a.m. UK time, so wherever you are in the world, 8 a.m. UK time is the London Open, okay? So the London session opens and you start to see the volume continue higher. And then you got 10, you got 11, it pushes up, 12, it pushes up, 1 p.m. is New York Open. So New York Open is now active as well. And then 2 p.m. comes, it pushes up. So the volume is London and New York, right? And then for the back end of New York session, 3 p.m., 4 p.m., 5, 6, the volume then goes the opposite way. So you want to be a part of the market when it's giving you volume, right? Whereas when you go into the Asian session and the Sydney session, the volume, the candles are not as big. Okay, the candles are not as big. You got 1 a.m., 2 a.m., you got 3 a.m., 4. So there is a little bit of volume here, but look, right? When you got 7 o'clock, London session opens here, 9 o'clock, 10 o'clock, 11 o'clock, right? You get one more retest here, and then going into 12 in New York, you get London session gives you volume, New York session opens, and then for the remainder of New York, you get volume, right? And then when you go into the back end, so going into Asian session, look, the candles start to get smaller. Okay, the candles start to get smaller. You don't want to trade the Asian session. You want to trade where there's volume. So look, London session's here. You've got New York session opens up here. What New York is doing is taking out the liquidity from anyone who was buying in the London session, and then the volume starts booming during the New York session. Yeah. So there's a pattern that you can see that occurs from a volume, just from a volume perspective during London and New York. Right, I'm going to get through these questions. One sec. How do you develop an effective trading plan? A lot of backtesting. A lot of backtesting. A lot of hours. A lot of chart hours. But it's also studying one concept. Right? Don't try and piece together 3, 4, 5 concepts. Okay? Whatever strategy you're trying to learn that strategy. Don't piece together multiple different concepts. You really don't need to do that, right? And plus, when you try and piece together, I'm going to take something from here, I'm going to take something from here, something from... When you try and mesh it and blend it, it doesn't work. Just learn one trading strategy. If you like it, you like it. If you don't, learn a different trading strategy. Another thing to form an effective trading plan is actually experience as well. You kind of need to experience the market more as well. The more you experience it, the more you get to learn about it. Especially if you're trading a pair or a couple pairs on a consistent basis, you're going to learn more about those pairs. So you kind of need to give yourself the time to learn, and also give yourself the experience as well. Like your skills come with experience. It's hard to learn trading in 2 months and know everything about it. It's just not enough time. You haven't experienced when a market is consolidating. You haven't experienced when a cycle changes, when the trend reverses. Like, all of these things come with you being in the market. But you have to just have one trading strategy that you can kind of journal and have results of, to see, okay, I've been following it for 4 months. Let's say you've been following one plan for 4 months. What are my results looking like off of me just sticking to this type of trading? And then you'll know if it's for you or not. So time, you got to give it time. But once you do give it time, you'll know, okay, this strategy, I can see it happening quite often and it's reliable. I'm going to continue with that. What are common mistakes made by beginners and how can they be avoided? So you're going to make mistakes. As a beginner, you are going to make mistakes. Yeah, you are going to make mistakes because sometimes you have to learn things to understand it. Like, it sounds weird, right? But when you lose, you actually learn when you lose sometimes. Like, you lose but you gain experience. And with having that experience, you know for next time, okay, cool, like, I remember that didn't work. Whatever it is that you tried to do didn't work. And that's how you gain experience, right? You can't avoid losing. It's very different. Like, I still lose trades. You're going to lose trades. But losing trades doesn't mean, okay, cool, like, I'm going to lose. Like, there's something you always gain from taking a loss. And it sharpens your strategy for next time. Do you understand what I mean? Like, you get better by taking that loss. Only if you followed your strategy, by the way. If you're just randomly pressing buttons and losing, you're learning nothing. I'm talking about if you have a set of rules and you have a set of confirmations and it's showing you, okay, cool, like, this is what it's doing. Only then do you actually gain the experience and gain the wisdom. If you're just following nothing and pressing buttons, you're not going to learn anything. Okay? So don't think you can avoid, you know, bad experience or lose it. You're gonna lose. You kind of need the losses to get better. So as for common mistakes beginners make is trading too many pairs. Don't trade too many pairs if you're a beginner. You don't need to switch to too many pairs. Like, if you're looking at more than 5 pairs as a beginner, it's going to be overwhelming. So don't look at too many pairs. If you're a beginner and you know nothing, look at 1 pair. Just 1. Because you want to learn the behavior of just that pair. Okay? That's what I would say to that. Don't trade too many pairs. Another thing is, don't trade too many times. Stop over trading. Right? Learn a strategy. Another mistake beginners make is they have no strategy. Yeah? Don't take signals. If you're taking signals as a beginner and you want to learn how to trade, you're in for a shock. It's just going to end in a disaster. Yeah? So those are the common mistakes. And give yourself some time. Be patient. Like, when you're learning how to trade, it takes time. It does. How do you choose the best time frame? So, Jane, the best time frames are the higher time frames because they show you the overall trend. Yeah? So, the best, again, I'll repeat it. The best time frames are the higher time frames. Yeah? Meaning, if you zoom out, so this is a daily chart, you can see on the daily chart is trending higher. You can see overall it's going higher. Give me 1 second. Hold on. Hello? Yeah, I'm just on a call. Is it important? Yeah, you're going to have to give me like an hour, brother. I'm on a call, you know. Yeah. Ugh. Sorry guys, someone was at my door. Right. So what was the question again? The way you explaining things, super helpful. Thank you. Right, how do you choose the best time frame? Sorry. Right, I got caught up. Someone was at my door. Right. So what you have to understand is the overall time frames that you're on, the bigger the time frame, the more of the picture that you can see and the more of the picture you can understand. So if we're overall going higher, you're going to understand the market structure better. Meaning, if we're going higher, the market's going to make a low, a high, a higher low, a higher high, a higher low, a higher high, right? Which is exactly what is happening here. Yeah? We're making, yeah, low, high, higher low, higher high, higher low, higher high, potential higher low, and it could be going to then make a higher high. Yeah? So if you know that the structure is bullish, overall you want to be trading, you want to be looking for buys overall. Now, that's the strategy, that's the analysis on the bigger time frame. Now, when it comes to entries, you want to be using the 4 hour, you want to be using the 1 hour, you want to be using the smaller time frames to make sure you know what the structure is showing you. So you can't really just use one time frame, unfortunately. Can't really use one time frame, unfortunately. You have to blend all of the time frames. So where I'm looking to enter is based off of the 30-minute time frame. That's what I'm looking to. This is where I'm looking to buy from. Yeah, this is where I'm looking to buy from. So if and when we get there, I'm looking for buyers inside this area here. So let's see what happens. Right, so is it a good idea for a beginner to practice with a demo account? 100%. Definitely. Yes. It's a good idea for a beginner to practice with a demo account with a strategy. You still have to have a strategy. Like, you can't just be like, if you have no strategy, what are you practicing? Just how to press buy and sell? That's not enough. You need to actually be practicing a strategy, practicing a method, having a trading plan. All of these things, you have to be able to practice that. That's how you get the experience. Okay, so yeah, you should use a demo account 100%, but only use a demo account if you have a strategy. Otherwise, you're not getting familiar. The only thing you're going to get familiar with is how to place a trade, which you do need to get familiar with. But what is the strategy you're going to use? Right, you've got a gift for teaching. I appreciate that. It comes with experience, though. Right. How do you stay calm and make rational decisions in a fast changing market? So again, the bigger the time frame, the less confusion. When you understand where you are within the trend, it's less confusing. Right? The structure shows you. So, all right, look, let me show you like this, yeah? I'm going to draw a box on this bit like this. I'm going to put it green. Let me just make it green so you can see it's the same box, yeah? Now I'm going to go on the 1 minute time frame, yeah? Sorry, 1 minute time frame. Now this is inside that box on the 1 minute time frame. Okay? Like, when you're so zoomed in, look. When you're so zoomed in, you can't really understand what's going on. You're too zoomed in. You're literally looking at the price like this. And you're judging every structure off of this. Right? You're judging you have to zoom out, is what I'm saying. You can't get the picture if your time frame is too small. Okay? That same box, look how long it's been in this box. Yeah? You can't be too zoomed in. So zoom out. You have to, in order to understand the trend, you need to be on the 4-hour time frame minimum. Minimum time frame to understand structure is the 4-hour. To really understand the structure, you need to zoom out to know where you are. Right? A lot of people might say, oh, it's bearish. We're coming down heavy. It's bearish. This is not bearish. Right? None of this structure is bearish. It's going up. Look. A little bit of a consolidation, but it's gone up. Yeah? Even if it comes down here, it's still bullish. It's just retracing. Maybe see you tomorrow. Yeah, hopefully. Thank you. Hopefully that helps. Hope you can reply to me. I've sent you a message. So I can't message right now. I can't message right now. Obviously, I'm doing the stream. But after we get off of here, I'll be sure to answer them. Excuse me. Which point is good to buy Bitcoin today? None. So, Christina, don't buy Bitcoin today. So, again, you wasn't here, so I'll go back to it, right? Bitcoin is going sideways. Look. Bitcoin is doing this. Yeah, it's consolidating. It's not the right time to buy it at all. When Bitcoin drops is when you want to buy it. So if it comes down, right, here would be a decent area to buy it. If it comes lower, buy it. But this is a good area because you're coming out of the consolidation. Yeah? So here, boom. It's in a range. So you want it to come out of the range first. At what point? What's your question? How do you control your emotions for losing? Good question as well. So, if you can't control a loss, it's because number one, you've either over leveraged or you don't trust in your trading strategy, or you don't have a trading strategy. That's the only fear, like emotional, like fear emotion comes in, is if you, number one, don't trust your strategy, or number two, you've over leveraged, meaning you've put too much on the trade. That's the only reason you're gonna get emotional. You're risking too much on your account. That's the only times you're like, again, you're gonna take losses. Yeah, you understand that you are going to take a loss. So why fear a loss? All you're doing is press and buy or press and sell. There shouldn't be any fear in that, right? Now, if you've done the analysis properly, it's gonna go in your favor. If you've done the analysis properly and it doesn't go in your favor, right? You only risk a certain percentage of your account on that idea, on that trade idea. It's not the end of the world. If you're getting emotional, it's because you, again, have risked too much, or you don't actually know why you've taken the trade. There can only be a handful of reasons why you're getting emotional. Okay, there's no need to be emotional. Any advice? One second. Any advice on overcoming fear of clicking the button? Listen, if you don't risk anything, there's no reward. No risk, no glory. So just do your analysis and live with the result. If you've done the analysis, you can live with the result. What tools or software do you recommend to help with day trading? So TradingView. I don't know what you mean by software. Do you mean like apps? I presume you're saying apps, right? I always cut winners early. See you guys. At what point, what price is good to buy Bitcoin? So yeah, I just went through that. See you guys. What price is good to buy Bitcoin? No, I just went through that. So I always cut winners early. How do you hold longer? So again, just having a zoomed out time frame analysis. Stop zooming in. It's easier said than done. I get it. Like, it is easier said than done. But you know, you have to. You've got to zoom out. So hopefully that answered all you guys' questions. Oh yeah, which tools or software do you recommend to help with day trading? So TradingView, if you're marked, this is what I mark my charts up on. I use TradingView. Software, tools or software. Tools, I'm not sure what you mean. Tools is just like what's in the toolbox. I use the economic calendar to see what news is coming out. That's another thing. That's kind of it. You know, you just need to have a strategy, really. There's not so much tools. I don't really know what to say to that in terms of what tools do you use. It's more, what's your analysis? That's kind of the main thing. So yeah, guys. Hopefully that's answered you guys' questions. It's been a pleasure. I'm going to hop off of this live, and I will be streaming tomorrow as well for you guys, okay? Have a great day. All right, cool. Ah, right. What's happening? Alright, cool. We're back. Back to round 2. So let's get to it. Let's capture. New York session. Let's go. Hope everyone is good. Hope everyone is well. US oil. Let's see what's happening with that. Get rid of this. Cool. What's happening, people? How's everyone doing? Flatten that. How's everyone doing? Getting ready for New York session. Cheat, what's happening? Excuse me. Alright, we're looking at buyers, man. EURUSD buyers is that's the agenda today. What's everyone saying? Alright, buyers on the cards, man.
Would you be with me if I'd slept with over 20 men?
Bro, what is this?
Let's be realistic.
Let's be realistic.
Where's my page? Hold on.
Would you be with me if I'd slept with over 20 men?
Bro, what is this?
Let's be realistic.
Let's be realistic.
Where's my page? Hold on. Pop out. Okay, cool. Someone said, wow. What did that say? Hold on. Last join your YouTube lives in a while. Last one is where you advise to stay away from CAD Swiss franc for now. Glad I listened. Yeah, bro. That pair's not it. I don't know. Someone said, wow. Each to their own, but that pair's not it for sure. That pair isn't it. CAD CHF is like, there's so many other pairs, bro. I don't know what made you pick that one. It's just, that's not the pair you need to be trading. No one needs to trade CAD CHF. Out of every currency pair to trade, I don't know what made you pick CAD CHF. CAD CHF is no. EURUSD, GBPUSD. I'd rather trade gold than trade CAD CHF, and I don't even like gold. That's how bad it is. So no. Think buyers might be on soon. GBPUSD, yeah, bro, 100%. I'm looking at buyers too. It's mainly I'm basing it off the dollar, to be honest. So for me, if the dollar retraces, like goes up first, then I feel like obviously the majors will come down. So as long as we keep this area here and go up here, and then we can come down for that area, then yeah, that's what I'm looking for. So yeah, buys on GBPUSD, buys on EURUSD. More dollar weakness is that's what I'm thinking today. So let's see what happens, you know. Gotta see what happens. Anyone trading anything specific that they want me to look at as well? What pairs is everyone trading? The dollar's been on a downturn, but we did predict this in my community. I gave this out as well, that this area would be key. And we also had this 1 hour area here from the start of the week. So I've actually been buying EURUSD a lot this week. And I bought GBPUSD yesterday, but EURUSD's been the one that's been spilling its guts and paying me. So yeah, more dollar weakness. You know how you got to look at the dollar right now is it's in a range. It's not doing anything, right? So when it's in a range, you got to think about the fact that there's people that are selling it, people that are buying it. There's money on both sides. That's just the best way to kind of look at it. There's money on both sides. If it goes up first and leaves the liquidity below, then that's great. It should give you more confluence to suggest that we're gonna, as long as the structure stays intact, it should give you more confidence to suggest that, yeah, we're gonna then continue lower. If it goes lower first, then it is what it is. But this is what I'm looking at. As long as the structure doesn't change and stays intact. When I say structure changing, it's got to come back up to like here. If we get above this area here, then with volume, then yeah, it's gonna start going bullish again. But right now, very very bearish. So we just gotta wait and see, you know. Wait and see what's happening. So yeah, let's see. But this week's been good. Made 5K yesterday, so this week's been good. So it's just a waiting game now. I'm not forcing it, you know. If the dollar's doing nothing and the volume's dwindling, don't need to do anything. Again, no volume on US oil. US30 is showing volume, but still. Gotta wait and see on that one. Oh. So yeah, we just gotta wait and see on that one. See what's bracking, man. But yeah, see what's happening. Thank you guys for joining. Hope you guys are following me. If you want access to my free community, check out the link in my description, yeah? Free community as well. Like, it's fully free. Right. Gotta see what's happening. Alright, cool. Who trades US30? Anyone? No one? US30's been good to this week as well. Can't lie. I feel like we might head higher though. Alright, man. I'm just waiting on EURUSD right now, to be honest. It's the only one that's like looking good. Alright, cool. Need this to go up.